Hey, it's me, Renee. I'm back. So, just want to kind of start this whole video with a little disclaimer. Well, okay, I'll start with saying also what it is. Well, you have the title, but yeah. So this is the History Challenge Readathon book tag. It's a book tag in connection to the History Challenge Readathon that's happening this week and next week. I'm participating. I suppose you might know that already. Though it's not like the tag you have to do a tag if you're participating in readathon. It's not you can only do a tag if you're in a readathon, but it's created in collaboration in context with that. And yeah, so I saw this tag yesterday from the Ghost Reader, Justin on Ghost Reading's channel, and I saw it today on the other Justin's channel, Triumphal Reads. Justin on Triumphal Reads shouted out at me, so yeah, that's kind of fun. That hasn't really happened that much before, so that's fun. He also said like he really liked my channel name and thought like he was a very fun channel name for Nonfiction book channel. I kind of, I suppose, if you're new to my channel, I suppose you might be because of the reading channels and reading readathon and stuff. I just kind of want to say a bit about my username. So actually, you might think maybe that because I'm doing the readathon and because my channel name, that I read a lot of nonfiction. I don't. I do want to read more of it. Kind of why I'm in this readathon. Why would I be in a non-fiction readathon if I wasn't trying to read more of it? But as of now, I don't read that much, so don't expect much non-fiction on my channel from like before, like on my videos. I do have some of that, but not very much. But yeah, I do want to change that. So yeah, why then have a Librarian of Alexandria? Well, it's kind of like a well, I suppose maybe three reasons in a way. I had another different channel name in the beginning, but then around Christmas, well, last December, was stuff happened. Let's just say, yeah, I decided to change my channel name for reasons. So I had a different channel name before that, and then I decided like, what should I change it to? And I thought, you know what, Alexandria. I really like the Library of Alexandria, and I'm a librarian of education, not by job, but I have that education. So okay, let's be the Librarian of Alexandria. So, and it's also kind of connected also to like the librarian aspect. So I kind of use the whole name. So the librarian aspect is that I kind of want to my kind somewhat point of my challenge kind of to challenge my channel is to like spread the news on books that I love that people should read that people haven't read before. A lot of channels out there they talk about the same 4 or 5 books all the time. They talk about mainstream books. Of course, some of the books I talk about will be well known, Percy Jackson, Kindred, etc., etc. But I do also want to talk about books that hit me, books that make an impact on me, and that might be books that are new and that are current, or might be books that are old and underrated, or hidden gems, or maybe some people hate them. I mean, so yeah, I just kind of want to like do librarian the idea of like spreading love for books that I love really, and also like topics that I love. So like sometimes I do top 5 where I talk about different stuff and tropes and stuff. And also like Alexandria part of it is because as a librarian I really and as a I really like history. I have a soft spot for the Library of Alexandria, and yeah, I suppose I don't know if you've seen this, but like the I think there's a meme, yeah, it's a meme that goes meme slash like post that goes around sometimes on social media where it says like if you think about something in the shower, it's something that still affects you, and then someone says, I cry about uh, the destruction of the Library of Alexandria in the shower because yeah, that still affects me. I mean, yeah, it's long ancient history, but it's just I mean the idea. I suppose you might not know, you probably do, but you never know who watches this video. So if you don't know, the Library of Alexandria was in a way actually kind of like the internet 0.0, well pre-internet in a way, because the idea was that kind of they wanted to have all the knowledge and all the books in the world. Well, books, they had papyrus then, but like books-ish stuff. You get all the stories in the world. They wanted to have it contained in one building, so they tried to do that. I think they got pretty far. I think they have like had like a lot of books before sadly it was burned down. So that's quite sad, really. So yeah, that's kind of like the long and heart of it, the long story behind my channel name. Do you know that? And yeah, let's get into this fun tag for this channel. Well, it's on my channel, so yeah. Yeah, first question. And yeah, sorry. Of course, I'll link the creators in doobly-doo. This was created by all the creators of the History Challenge Readathon, and I'll link them all, of course, in doobly-doo. But yeah, what first got you into history? At first, I was like, it's kind of hard to pinpoint, but I kind of remembered, like, yeah, I kind of think I know what it was because, like, when I was a kid, every Christmas and more or less every Easter, there was either a BBC version of Oliver Twist going on TV, or there was like maybe a BBC version of Little Lord Fauntleroy, or there was maybe a version of the Prince and the Paupers. All this like old style historical TV series or movies. A lot of them like based on children's classics. So you also have like The Secret Garden, like those kinds of stuff, and I loved watching them as a kid. I just love I love the big castles and the old clothes, and yeah, I just loved the scenery and everything about it. Really, I just loved it so much. And then after a while, whenever there was like a series on TV for kids, there was like I remember at least one. I can't for life remember the name of it. I think it was Swedish produced, but anyway, it was set in a castle. There was a family who moved into a castle for some reason, but yeah, and then there was like this ghost who kept on haunting them, and that's like it was for kids, so it wasn't scary. It was like, oh, it's a ghost, it's haunting, and yeah, I really enjoy that. So yeah, I always like enjoyed history in that part. I think really in that way, and then after that, well, continuing with that theme, I really love the Atlantis Disney movie. It's based on Atlantis the myth, so yeah, that's really cool. I just love it, and I really also love The Road to El Dorado. It's my favorite movie of all time, all time. So I suppose yeah, myths. It's really my dealio. I really enjoy myths, but I also enjoy other parts of history. And yeah, so I just kind of bottle off. It just kind of build it on that really. And yeah, for most part, I've read historical fiction, though, yeah, I'm trying and I want to read more historical nonfiction, which I've been doing lately. And yeah, let's move on to question number 2. Favorite book or author, of course. As I said, I haven't really read that many history books. No, sorry, history and nonfiction. So I suppose also in a way doing this channel again, I'm saying channel, doing this tag then, it's kind of like answering stuff that I can't really answer. So what I've decided I want to do, I'm going to try to uh, name both historical nonfiction and fiction when I can. So like show off both of them. I checked out both the Justin's tags because I didn't see anyone else do the tag so far. And I didn't say you can talk nonfiction, you can talk fiction. So I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I also will have some nonfiction picks as well. But yeah, also, you know, I just need some tea because I've been doing a lot of filming today, and then my throat gets a bit itchy as it does. But yeah, I'm digression. But yeah, I'm going away for this weekend. So I'm just gonna film a lot, so it's ready. So yeah, favorite history book, like sorry, nonfiction. Just gonna start with that one because why not start there? it's kind of difficult, and also like even with me saying like a real life history, and I do. I mean, why else would I do this channel, this tag, and this readathon? I suppose I could want to try to like it, but yeah, I do really enjoy it. But I do, as of now, a lot of what I've read history is like steampunk-ish, so it's like history with magic. And like sometimes people say like, "Oh yeah, I love history," and then I talk about that and that. That seems like that's steampunk. That's not history. I mean, if you want to be pedantic, if a book has magical elements, it's not historical. It's not pure historical anyway. Though I suppose a small part of me kind of think like, well, we don't know that there's no magic in the world. I mean, there could be. It's just that a lot of us are in the are not in the know, so could be. But yeah, so first, so the pick for non-fiction for fiction book is Things a Bright Girl Can Do by Sally Nichols. I read this last year. It's a YA fiction around historical fiction around the suffragette area era in the US. I suppose sorry, US, the UK. I suppose often when you think suffragettes, you think the UK. I suppose are it suffragettes? Is that a word for every people everywhere trying to get votes for females, or is it just for the people in UK? No, I think it's general. But yeah, anyway, it's this is set in the UK. It has several. It has several main characters, and two of them are lesbians. One is a Quaker, a lesbian, pacifist, and vegetarian. So that's quite fun, really. At least I think I really like that character also. One of them is middle class. One of them is high class. High class. Yeah, high class. Let's say that. One of them is working class. So we have all the aspects showed of how they react to suffragette movements and stuff. And there's also some stuff about the First World War. And yeah, it's just very good, amazing. I just love this book. Definitely a book people should check out. Then for non-fiction, I do have that as well. History book. I do have. I suppose say cheating. It's not probably not cheating. There weren't really any rules for this, and yeah. Well, there weren't limitations. I was also like, why would you limit a book tag? Because that's just mean. I mean, shouldn't do that too much because then it's hard to. Yeah. The book is which one? 60 no, sorry. 60 damer du skulle møtt. Norsk kvinnehistorie for deg som har travelt. It's a book about 60 females in Norwegian history. And the translation is 60 females you should have met. So it's also it's like and the or other the subtitle is like Norwegian female history for people who are busy, especially travels, for people who are busy. So and it's written by Martha Breen, which is a famous Norwegian feminist and journalist, and illustrations are Jenny Jordan. So it's illustrated, as you might think. So it's kind of like a comic in a way. So it's one page, well, 2 pages for every person, and it goes all the way from like the older people. It starts for a moment. It starts with people in the 1800s was yeah not that old, like it's not Viking females, but it's older, and then you have up until like pretty recent females. The last one is give me a moment. The last ones are like people born in 70s, or like people who recently died. So yeah, and this is a great book if you want to, yeah, if you're busy, if you want to give a quick overview of people you should know about. I suppose, at least to me, some of these people were already known to me, but some were like, oh, that's a person in history? Cool. And yeah, so I suppose in a way this is kind of like in the vein of uh, Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, or Rejected Princesses, or like uh, queer icons you should know about, like all this. There's lots of a trend, or like there's lots of different books now with like comics, and then there's a short biography, and this is kind of the same vein as that. It's really fun. why else would I talk about it? And yeah, so this one I really enjoy. Again, I don't know, sometimes I say the obvious again and again. Sorry, I just do that. Next question is favorite time period and why. Now, Justin, Emma, am I saying it wrong? I think one of the names again. One of the creators are called Emma. I might be wrong here. And then there's, you know what? Pretty sure I wrote down the names of them all, so I can just double check. Give me a moment here. Yeah. Let me check out. Give me a little moment. Let me check out. I did not write down the creator's name. That's bad. That's my fault. But yeah, anyway, creators of this tag asking what is my favorite time period. Yeah, I'm just gonna get back to where I was earlier. Asking what is my favorite time period. Do you like torturing people? Really? Really? Do you? Because this is torture. Choose a time period. There's so many. I mean, at least for me, I just love I love all of history in a way. Like I like all of it. I like both like the ancient history and the newer history and the things in the middle. And yeah, although I suppose maybe in a way, I suppose if I were to like answer this a bit more precisely, I would say in a bit way that I would in a way that I would actually agree a bit with Justin from the Ghost Reader. That I suppose maybe a bit more into themes than periods, though I like periods, but like I really like learning about that city during that time. Like maybe Buddha during the 1800s. That's where I'm from. Or uh, maybe the States during Jim Crow. I mean, so like during stuff set during different specific times. Not, but that's not a theme. It's more time, but like yeah. So it's not like huge. Like yeah, I love history really. And yeah, I really like history specific to like one place. So it's, yeah, more than like specific set to a place or like a period, like a time, like stuff that happened during one war or like the time around suffragettes and stuff like that. Instead of like, so for example, the feminist history, that's quite long and there's a lot to read about there. And yeah, I really like to learn about feminism, and there's a lot of fun to read about there. So that I'm thinking. And then next question is, what book do you want to read from your favorite time period? Again, don't really know. There's a lot. Yeah, this is the one where you can like talk about a book that you want to read that's coming up. So it's actually coming a book later this fall. Now this is slightly cheating, though. Is it cheating? I'm just gonna go for it, and it's A Golden Fury by Samantha Oho, which is a debut book that's coming out in the fall. I think it's coming out in November. It's a YA historical fiction mystery. No, sorry, historical fiction fantasy. Because the idea is that there's alchemy, and the main character is trying to make the Philosopher's Stone, and then shenanigans happen around that, and it just seems so cool, and I can't wait for that book. Cannot wait. It just sounds so amazing. And yeah, that one I'm highly anticipating. Non-fiction book that I'm looking forward to. As I said, I haven't really been that much into it. I don't really know what's coming up with non-fiction. I'm not really sure. So if you have any tips for me, please link them to me down below. Tell me in the comments. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna say for that question really. A moment. It's ginger tea. It's very good for my throat, and it's also lemon. So yeah, it's good, tasty. Oh yeah. Next question. What time period do you want to read more about? Again, the time period I haven't read much about, or like themes I haven't read much about. I mean, I want to learn more about stuff that I don't know from before. But then again, there's some stuff that I want to read more about. Like, as I said earlier, I like feminism. I'm very much into feminism. So like any book that's like the biography of this feminist, or like feminism in this area or around that time period, or centered around that theme, I would be into it. Like, even I recently found out, I think some people in this readathon, maybe one of the creators, I think maybe Booker Shenanigans, I might be wrong here, but at least someone said I wanted to read A Lab of One's Own, which is a book centered around girls in, well, females. Why do you say girls when people are over 18? Sorry, females in STEM, in history. And even though myself, I don't really like science fiction, science at all. It's just confusing me, and I just find it boring, and I just find it confusing, really. But still, like, if anything has to do with feminism, I will read it. Like, earlier this year, I bought a book when I was in London, a book about girls doing soccer in the US. Sorry, US. Why did I say US? In England in 1915. But like, of course, they couldn't like have their own girls team because they were girls and they can't do soccer. So I wanted to read that because girl power. I ended up DNFing it because I thought it was a bit childish, but like the idea of it was really cool. Even though I don't like soccer, but like, if like it's feminism aspects to it, I will devour it. I like crazy. I like crazy. But yeah, let's move on. So next question, and this one I think is very funny. I'm really looking forward to when people do this tag. Hopefully, lots of people do this tag. So far, not many people have done, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Answer this one here. The question is, favorite person in history? Again, I suppose it could be a lot of persons. That's kind of likely what I really love about history, because drinking in the middle of answer. Sorry, because there's so many people in history. I mean, history. Wow, history is so long. I mean, history is from like yesterday to like the beginning of time. So there's so much history, and it's the whole world, and it's so much of it. So of course, it's full of people that are fascinating and impressive and awe-inspiring. And it's just, I really like all these different people and stories that kind of I've forgotten, that kind of recently I've been like digged out from like old archives and stuff. So yeah, I really like Rejected Princesses and Good Night Stories for Rebel Girls, and books that like, yeah, books that feature girls and also like people that have kind of been set aside and forgotten in recent years, or like until now. So yeah, but yeah, my favorite person in history, I'm gonna go with Manuela Science. So she was a spy during the 1800s in Peru. She was the mistress of Simón Bolívar, which is one of the liberators of Latin America, the one who Bolivia was named after, pretty obviously, really. And yeah, Manuela Sáenz, she who grew up in poor circumstances, ended up becoming a spy for the resistance, like against the against the Spanish. And she was actually tried to assassinate several times, but several times she escaped death. And she also helped Simón Bolívar from being assassinated several times. Of course, to get credit. No, 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 no. Girls can't get credit. No, 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 can't do that. So yeah, that's stupid. She was once bitten by a deadly snake. Did you die? No, 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 no. I'm not gonna die of snake bite, deadly snake bite. No, no. That's not gonna kill me. No, no, no. And she's just so fascinating. I just love her. There needs to be a movie, or like a tons of fictional, non-fiction, fictional books about her and non-fiction books about her, and there needs to be more about her. She's just so impressive. I just me encanta ella, me encanta tanto ella, tan impresionante, como no puedo creerlo, no puedo creerlo. Yeah, I speak Spanish as well. But yeah, Manuela Science, she fascinates me so much. And yeah, she ended up her life like living in the countryside, just like selling shoes. So like she didn't end up dying in battle. She ended up happy and old. So yeah, she got a happy end in a way. So yeah, Manuela Science, check her out. Of course, I'll link to her in www. Next question. What would you like to read more of? It's not the same question as before. No? Maybe I should double check this. Okay. Like what person or what history or what I'm just gonna say as before, like I want to read what I haven't read from before, and then I want to read more what I've already seen in. And I suppose I could be a bit more specific. I think I kind of want to read a bit more about Babylon, but Babylonians. Like part of like my fascination with history. I suppose, yeah. You know what? I think I have extra. When I think about it, I think I have extra fascination with like old history, like ancient history. So like the Babylonian gardens and the Library of Alexandria and all these like places that are like forgotten or like destroyed. And yeah, I think like lots of these ancient periods, places, and empires are really fascinating. And I suppose because we don't know that much about them, or at least they're not in common, they're not in like the everyday media and stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of fascinated about the older history, and yeah, I kind of want to read more about it. Definitely do. So yeah, next question. It's getting a long video, but it's a fun tag, and yeah. Next question. What non-book resources would you use? I don't really use that many. Like as I said, I read books. Other than that, I don't really watch documentaries that much. But like, I suppose like if it's on, I might see it. What I do, I do. I do listen to the oh my god names. There's a podcast called Badass Badass Woman Kick-Ass. It's called Badass Females of History or Kick-Ass Females of History. It's at least it's based around females of history, so it's kind of like the same concept of like rejected princesses that they focus on females that are often forgotten or like not talked about that much. Kick-Ass Woman of History. Is it? I think it is. I'm gonna link it in down below, of course. I am, and yeah. I haven't listened to all those. Of course, they have a lot of episodes, but I listened to some of them. Yeah, they're really fun. They give like a good insight into, like they give a good insight into personal history, and sometimes it's like history of a family, and sometimes it's of a person. And yeah, I really like those. Yeah. Then next question, also a bit warmer, so I'm just also gonna need some tea. So next question. Favorite history quotes or facts? This one. So yeah, as you see now, I'm filming this one. I'm filming a bit other ones before today because I kind of want to do research and like think about. And I think this question is kind of the most difficult one because choosing historical fact or quotes. I think that's kind of difficult because there's so many good ones really. So I mean, as I said, history is full of fascinating ideas and people and anecdotes and stuff. I thought maybe I just kind of forgot to think about it, and then I thought like I'll just figure something out when I got to this question, and now I'm like, I don't know. I have one that I know, and then one that's you know what, I'm gonna do it. Okay, so I'm gonna cheat, and I'm gonna do two anecdotes, like historical facts. I suppose facts, anecdotes. What's the difference there? Not that much. And instead of doing a quote, I'm doing two anecdotes. So one is that, well, yeah, one is the story, short story. I'm just gonna summarize it because I can't talk too much really. Already talked for quite some time. But yeah, in France in the 1700s, there lived a woman, female, Julie Daubigny. She was a excellent swordswoman. She was opera singer, and she was bisexual. She was, for a time, she went around France and just kind of robbed people and just kind of, and also like kind of got money by like swording and fencing with people, like to get money by doing people, and then got money that way. And then after a while, she went to Paris. You have to say Paris, France, and became an opera singer. And when people tried to catcall her, she was like, "No, I'm having none of it." And then she started fighting them, and then of course they stopped. And yeah, she just sounds so badass and kick-ass, and I just love her. I know there's actually at least one fictionalized book based on her. Like I'm pretty sure it's pretty similar, like to her story. That I'm quite interested to get to. Can't remember at the top of my head what it's called, but it's out there. And she's been on like some lists here now and then. So I think maybe one of those persons that are getting more and more exposure, at least like in some circles. So hopefully Hollywood or BBC or someone will make a series or like movie out of her. I would love that. It would be so cool. Also, like I think maybe like if I had like one wish, I'm just going to say some wishes here. Hope for like this readathon is that people, maybe Spielberg's son, or maybe I don't know, maybe a BBC's wife, or maybe a BBC boss is watching BookTube and they get some ideas and want to make stuff. I won't be sad if they did like base off these tags on this readathon, because I think we all will love more of those movies. At least I really do. I really love movies as well. So yeah, but yeah, so Julie Dupany, she's just so impressive. Just yeah, so in awe of her. And then there's a bit more of a, I suppose, in a way local. So as I said before, and I can just say it again, I'm Norwegian. If you're new to this channel, so and this is something I actually didn't know before, like 2 or 3 years ago, but it's kind of a fun little thing. So in 1500s, 1400s, not quite sure. I'm not going to check it out now, but I'll check it out when I post this. But at least like in 1400s, around that time, like a long time ago, maybe 1600s, but I think like 1400s, around that time, there was what's his name again? Always forgetting words. There was a ship, uh, trade ship, that went from wait from it wait from or went from Italy, and it was supposed to go from Italy till, I think it was supposed to go from Italy till Asia, or like yeah, it was supposed to have like a specific route. Of course, I mean when you have a ship on the sea, you have destination usually in mind. But yeah, but but like sadly they met a storm outside of Belgium. I think it was on Belgium, and then of course they were put off course. Of course they put off route, off the map. Okay, yeah, they went off course. Isn't it called off course? Yeah, you get what I mean. I mean they kind of end up not going in the same direction they were meant to go in, and like the winds took them far away, and end up in Rust, which is a um, island in the north of Norway, close to Bodø, where I'm from. And yeah, so this big ship full of Italian tradesmen was stranded on this island in Rust. And yeah, there was like a ship full of lots of tradesmen, and this island it's not like big. It doesn't have a huge population. Still doesn't. And this island, they were like full of fishermen, and of course they all knew Norwegian. The tradesmen all knew Italian, but they kind of had to like become friends because, of course, the ship was destroyed in like the encounter with with the island and like with the sea and stuff on the journey. And so yeah, so so the people, the tradesmen, stayed there for like one, I think maybe 2 years. So they, of course, they were trying they were trying to build a new boat, but that ship, but that took some time. So during this time, they made friends. Some of them like became lovers with the people who live, who the islanders. Of course, some of them already had wives at home, but that's another side of it. But yeah, so they kind of met and had jolly time and nice and all that. And then after a year, they went back to Italy. And then the captain actually of the ship, Pietro Carini, he wrote in Latin like an account of like what happened. So that's how we know it. And that account actually ended up in the Vatican many years until like 40 years ago, and then it was kind of became like a bigger thing. And then completely recently, like 3 or 4, no, so maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, not 3 years, but at least not many years, the people in just the island where they were shipwrecked, they decided like, okay, we want to do something. Just it's not a big island. They don't have a lot of resources, so they kind of like, what can we do to get more money for our municipality, to like get more money for people who live here and stuff. And so one of them, I don't know exactly who, but one of them discovered like, oh yeah, there's this shipwreck. Can we do something with that? And they end up making an opera based, well, opera slash musical. Yeah, yeah, I'll say actually a bit more opera really. Opera based on that story. So every summer, or sometimes every other summer, sometimes every summer, they have they now have words. They have a showing of the opera, and so some of their songs are just like very operatic and like full of pathos and ethos and all that is just awe-inspiring. And they hire opera singers from like big cities in Norway. They come to do that and very happy to do that and stuff. And the choirs are like the locals, so it's like a very fun. It's actually a very well-to-do showing. Really, it's just very well done. But what I actually think I love most about this show, I suppose maybe they don't want me to say it, but yeah, what I love most about it is that one of the songs they have. I suppose, yeah. So okay, just a little also backstory. As I said, this island it's full of fishermen, and in this place in Northern Norway, it's very well. It's traditional to have dry fish. So instead of just having fish, you fish a fish and then you hang it out to dry, and then you kind of eat it later as a snack. And in this island, it's very popular with the dry fish. Dry fish in Norwegian is tørrfisk, or in the some place in Norway you say instead of fisk you say fisk. So one of the songs, it's kind of like it's from a time in the musical or opera where the one of the locals are showing the tradesmen around, and then they're like Tørrfisk, and then the opera sings Italian saying Tørrfisk, 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 Tørrfisk. It's just like the same word over and over and over again, and it's just so fun. It's just amazing how what they can do just with the one word, and it's yeah, it's really as you might have guessed. Um I saw this opera a few years ago, and I really enjoyed it. Though that time, sometimes they show it on like a huge stage and like a huge to do, and sometimes they do like a smaller version of it. I saw the smaller version, but still, it's just still very impressive. And yeah, that's quite a fun really thing. And yeah, it's also if you're Norwegian, you might see this. There's actually one book at least that's fictional, but based around this story. If you might want to look into that, I'll link it down below. And yeah. And then, yeah, the last question. Shout outs to a booktuber that reads history. I suppose I could do Justin and just like do like the different. Uh, could just like kind of do the different. Uh, could mention people who do this tag. Sorry, who are doing this readathon, and probably not unlikely I'll do some of them. But I also want to mention suddenly I'm blanking. Magic of Books. Yeah, Magic of Books. She's a booktuber I've been watching for quite some years. She loves historical books. She often has like top 3 Tudor books, top 5 Tudor movies and stuff like that. And yeah, she has very fun content for if you like historical books. I'm not sure how much non-fiction she reads. I think she does sometimes. And yeah, so her, and then I'll link some people who are doing this readathon. At the moment, I'm kind of blanking. You know what? I might, because I talked about this readathon during a live a few weeks ago. People said like, "Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds fun." A lot of them were already doing other readathons this week's. But like I know Noria reads for it sounds like fun, so I'll link to her. I'm not sure how much historical she has like out already, but I do know she enjoys it. I think. Anyway, she has a great channel, so yeah, you know what? I'm gonna link to her. And yeah, yeah. So that's that really, and I'll see you later. Yeah, hope you have a nice weekend. This is going up on Friday, even though I'm filming it on Monday. And time travel, filming, pre-filming, and yeah, I'll see you later. Bye bye.